Hello everyone, welcome back to EDCNC. My name is Samuel, and today we're going to be looking at something that I am super excited about. This is the Knafs Co. Lander by Ben Peterson. Let's check it out. So this is the first design that Ben has actually put out under the Knafs name. He's had two designs in the past, one with Wheat and one with Civivi, and that was the Banter and the Baby Banter, and soon to be the Big Banter, which I'm pretty excited about. Hoping to get my hands on one of those to review it. But yeah, he's working with QSP on this one as their manufacturer, and you can tell QSP does a good job with their manufacturing. They do a great job with their quality control. So let's jump into it. I'll give you some specs, and then I'll tell you what I think about the knife at the end. So this knife is a drop point blade shape with D2 blade steel and a stone washed finish. Has a thumb stud deployer, which as you'll see is very snappy, just like his other designs. Has G10 scales, which are special. We'll talk about those in a little bit and what's special about them. Recessed liner lock, and a recessed pocket clip, which is very good. All of his other designs have the recessed pocket clip, if I'm not mistaken. And the great thing about that is slides in and out of pocket easily. There's no lip or bridge for your pocket to get caught on. So I really like that. And also another little detail here is for the pocket clip to be switched on the other side, there's a little plate right here just to fill in that gap, just to make it look a little better. So I like that. This knife has an overall length of 6.4 inches when opened. A blade length of 2.75 inches, which is a very intentional number. Some states have a 3-inch blade law, and if your blade is 3 inches or more, it is illegal to carry that knife. And so this one is well under that number enough to where, don't quote me on this, I'm not a lawyer, but it should not measure at any point on the blade at 3 inches. So that was a very intentional number. Very good there. It has a closed length of 3.6 inches. So what we have here is a pretty compact knife, sits really well in the pocket with that deep carry clip, and the overall size of this knife is very unintimidating, very, pocket friendly. Very good. So we've gone over the specs. Now, let's jump into my thoughts on the knife and some of the things that really make this knife awesome. Let's talk about these G10 scales a little bit and what's so cool about them. And you might look at them and say, well, they just look like regular G10 scales, and they are, except they are quick swappable. It only takes 8 screws, you take them out, swap the other ones on, and bam, you're done. Now the cool thing about that is you do not have to mess with the pivot for this. Something that I know personally, and you probably know if you take your knives apart, is sometimes when you take that knife apart, you can't get it back together. It's kind of like it loses that factory magic where you put it back together and you can't quite get the centering right, and then if you get the centering right, there's blade play, and then if there's not blade play, then this and that, or there's some kind of problem. And so the fact that you don't have to mess with this pivot if you got the action right where you want it, where it'll drop shut, snap open, all that great stuff, it's centered, you don't have to mess with it. You can pop these 8 screws out, swap over to a different color scale, and boom, you're done. Something else awesome about these scales is they have a free CAD file that you can download on the Knafs website. Just go on Google or whatever search engine you use and type in Knafs CAD file, and it'll come up. You can go to the website, download it. And the awesome thing about that is if you 3D print, or if you are a machinist, or if you work with a local machine shop or want to work with your local machine shop, you can go to them and they can make you some scales, or if you've got a buddy who's got a 3D printer, he can make you some 3D printed scales for this, which is awesome. You're going to see all kinds of stuff in the future like glow in the dark, and personally I'm tempted to go to my local machine shop and see if they can do copper or brass or titanium. And so we might follow up with that in the future if I decide to, but I'm going to look into that, and the awesome thing is, so can you. But if you don't want to go through the trouble of printing your own or paying someone to do it for you, then you can go on his website and check it out. I don't remember how many exactly colors he has, but I think he at least has 4 right now, and it wouldn't shock me a bit if it kept growing. So he's got the OD green, the purple, the blue right here, the black, and I think he's got some special edition like Mars Kitty or something like that. So go to the website, check it out. This knife is very customizable, and I really, really like that. So how's the action on this knife? Just like the Banter, just like the Baby Banter. Listen here. Super duper snappy. Awesome, very well centered. No blade play side to side, but a little bit up and down for me on this model. Now, listen, this is well, we'll talk about the price later, but this is a budget knife, and it could just be this one model, and also it could work itself out, or it might be a problem, I don't know. But on this specific model, no problems other than a little bit of up and down play. Problem that I have with this knife is a lot of the same problem I have with other knives, the jimping. The jimping just doesn't go far enough up the spine of the blade. And that's the only real gripe I have about this knife. And I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I just wish the jimping went up the blade just a little farther. How are the ergonomics? Ergonomics are fantastic. I don't know how he does it with this pocket clip. It almost seems like it should make a hot spot, but it doesn't. Feels great in hand. You can grip down on it, which is not going to be a hard use knife, but if you had to grip down on it, it's not going to wear your hand out immediately. So I really like that. Very well done. Access to the liner lock. Now, this is something that I had a problem with on the original Banter and still have a problem with, is the access to the liner lock. On this knife, there's no problem. You can see down in there, if I get a side shot of it here, that there is an easy access to that liner lock. Very well done. Good job on that. What is the price of this knife? This knife comes in at 58 bucks. Very good price. You're getting into like Civivi, Kaiser territory there, but still kind of sneaking in under them. And so, being designed by QSP, I see how they're able to go so low with the price. QSP is known for their budget models, and so I have absolutely no problem paying $58 for this knife, especially for the materials and especially for the customization of it. So, what are my overall thoughts on the knife? It's perfectly simple. That's the best way to describe it. There's no crazy design elements that make you go, whoa, wow, that's insane. But also, there are elements to it that are like, oh, that's awesome, like the swappable scales and the CAD file and stuff like that, where it's a simple little knife, kind of like a Rat 2 or a K-Bar dozer. There's nothing amazingly special about it, but it works really well. And so I really like it. He hasn't released anything yet that I have been disappointed by. So I hope he keeps that up. The Knafs brand is starting off strong, and I love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, please click like, comment, subscribe, all those awesome things. Stick with us, as I've talked about in the past, getting close to 500 subscribers. Stick around for that giveaway. Check out the new episode of the Everyday Carry Cast, where we talk about what we actually carry every single day. And a new one should be up this coming Friday. So check it out. Hope you guys liked it. Have a great day, and God bless. It has G10s. Jump up here. Ah, nasty paws. Hey, what do you think? What do you think about it?
See you next time.